Hey there, so today we have another beer talk, and I was just about to review a pumpkin beer, but I thought I'd dig into a little bit of a quick beer talk, and this is an issue about pumpkin beer, and people complain about it all the time, and I think it's been debunked for some people, but I still think a lot of people complain about it. So first off, it's been around the time, we're still in August, and actually pumpkin beer has already dropped in some of the retail locations, and it's still nice and warm. We hit over 95 degrees here in New York, and it's still summer. So it's like, how can pumpkin beer be here during the fall? That's insane. So the real issue is that it compares to beers that we've dealt with in the past. So now obviously it's different because Stones here in Nevada, New Belgium, they're all on the East Coast. But before, they would have to ship the beer all the way from the West Coast. So we finally would get the beer maybe a month fresh at best, and that's like unfortunate. So now you're talking about a brewery having to brew schedule to ship beer to a location, then the distributor gets it because we have 3-tier system from the brewer to the distributor to the retailer or the bar, and then so now that beer has to get to the retailer, and then the beer has to sell. So ideally, if you think about like, you know, how you'd want to run a business, you'd want to have the beer arrive. People maybe don't buy it immediately because it's still summer, but it finally picks up, it sells, and then there's a quick drop off of when the beer will stop selling, because once it hits past, you know, Halloween and into Thanksgiving and boom into Christmas, nobody's buying pumpkin beer, and you can look it up on I think Google Analytics is a good one to, like, you know, when people Google for pumpkin beer when they really desire it. So honestly, the curve is actually more towards the early end of the year than than the later end. So like if a craft beer store ends up getting their beer by October and they don't sell it out immediately, then they've definitely have lost the sales that they could have gotten a little bit early on, and then now they're stuck with so much beer. So for the brewing schedule, it's better to front load the beer than back end the beer, right? Like back end the beer is the worst, because now you see those beers now in December, January, February, and they're like discounting all these pumpkin beers. That's not what you want. I mean, go to the store. If you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. But you're going to want to buy it in a month or two. So that's sort of how it works. I just wanted to give that debunk of people who's just like complaining. It's like, well, it's on the shelf. Don't buy it. It's fine. You're going to want to buy it, or other people are going to want to buy it when it's time to buy it. And then the retailer doesn't have to take the hit of having to sit with beer, or the brewery doesn't have to sit with issues of their beer sitting on the shelf and distributor doesn't take it back. It's a headache. So it's better to front load it than back end it. If that makes any sense, I hope it does. Please stop complaining. It's a really dumb issue. Until next time, guys. Cheers. Later.